Hello everyone on this Facebook Live, and welcome to my Canadian tundra in the car. Today's live is about get your content out there! Exclamation point. Now I want to be really clear at the beginning of this. This is about energy clearing. This is about your beliefs. This is about the energetic signature that your content carries with it, or that you carry with you. This is not about, your content map for the next 60 days. There are amazing professionals that do great work around that, around helping you decide what kind of content to put out there and helping you decide, where to post and when to post and who's your ideal client. And this is none of that. This is the inner game of visibility. This is the internal stuff. This is the have internal peace first and then post. This is the have deep clarity within yourself and then post. So I'm not here to promise you or to guarantee that if you do what I recommend or suggest that you're going to get 1 million likes and 1 million reshares and tons of clients from it, although that happens. But my work is about having the internal peace first and then. So when it comes to get your content out there, exclamation point, I wrote that because so many of us are sitting on a gold mine. We're sitting on fantastic content that could change someone's life or business or whatever your area of expertise is as an online business owner. And you're sitting on it. And why do you sit on it? Well, I think there's a couple reasons. One is that there's the fear of judgment. What will people think? What will they say? There's also the fear of, what if my content is just like everybody else's? What if I put it out there and it becomes this superfluous, surface-dwelling, not actually valuable content, and I'm just filling up the online space with more stuff that people don't need. There is another fear of literally being attacked, either emotionally, spiritually, psychically, energetically. There are so many fears of judgment. So we're just going to wrap that all up into one ball, which is the fear of judgment, fear of being judged. So that's one big reason why you may be sitting on this gold mine of content. The second one is you may not know what to post or where to post or the how-to. That's another real reason. Does it belong on Facebook? Does it belong on LinkedIn? Should it be a blog post? Should it be a video? Now that's a real concern, but as I mentioned, that's not my specialty. What I've noticed though is that if you deal with number one, the fear of being judged, number two becomes a lot easier. A lot easier. Now the third reason could be you're actually not clear on what you want to post and what you want to say. And I think this comes up more often than we'd like to admit as online business owners. We're not actually crystal clear on our niche, or we're not crystal clear on the problem that we solve or the solution that we offer. And so our content ends up becoming a mix and a muddle, and it's not as effective as it could be. And it does end up confirming one of those fears of posting valueless content or content that's not as valuable as it could be. So for that kind of work, I recommend my colleague Tad Hargrave. He's amazing at niche and what's the exact problem you solve and for who is it ideal. So again, that's not my expertise. My expertise is number one, and that's what the rest of this video is going to focus on, which is what are the judgments that you're afraid to receive. Now that's not the only aspect of my work. In my work, there are the 8 pillars of the imposter complex, as I describe it. So there's procrastination, there's overwhelm, there's playing small to stay safe, there's people pleasing, there's a whole bunch to that. But we're going to focus today on judgment, partly because I just made this amazing free video that is up in my private group for the next 48 hours that I'm going to take down after that because I think I should charge money for it. It's really fantastic. But I'm going to give you a taste of that here. So what's the judgment that you're not willing to receive? When you think of that content that you want to put out, and I encourage you to get specific. So right now as you're watching, what's the content, what's that next blog post, that next video, that next offer you want to make? It might not be about content posting because I think sometimes we post too much content. I try to do 1 email and 1 live in a week, and then a few other posts on Facebook. And I'm building into LinkedIn. I'm trying not to do much more than that. So it may not be content that we're talking about for you. It might be an offer that you want to make. You might want to invite someone to a direct sales conversation or a consultation or a free session or whatever your model is. So whether it be content or an offer, what would be the worst? Ow, there we go. There's the energy. What would be the worst thing someone could say about you? You're salesy, you're sleazy, you're just trying to make money off me, you're arrogant, you are, you don't really know what you're talking about, you're not really an expert. Who do you think you are? Fill in the blank, any of these. And if you think that if maybe you're one of the few people watching this and you think, oh, I've heard this before, I've heard Will talk about this before, I don't need to do this anymore. Well, unless you're posting all the content you feel inspired to post, unless you're making all the offers that you feel inspired to make, maybe you could revisit this. I revisit this regularly, and it's always valuable. Every time I do, a new client signs up, or at the very least, I feel more peace internally, and I feel better about what I'm doing. So what's the judgment that you're afraid to receive? Now, one of the ways that you could approach this is, what's the judgment that you have about other people? I'm sorry, I'm shaking a little bit, not for the energy, but because it's cold in my car here in Canada. I think it's -6 outside, so the car is getting colder. What do you judge others in your industry for? That was energetic twitching. What do you say about others? What's your go-to? They don't know what they're talking about. A lot of my clients are experts. It's been 10 years or more that they've been in their particular field. And so sometimes what my clients are dealing with is the judgment of others that, they don't really know what they're talking about. They're only 1 year to their business, and yet they're pretending like they're this big expert. I've actually been in it 10 years, and I am an expert. So what the hell are they talking about? Well, that's a judgment. And you'll know the difference between a judgment and an awareness, because an awareness is fleeting. It's momentary. So if you're saying to yourself, well, I am actually an expert, and I do see others in my industry who are not, is that a judgment? Not necessarily. If you just have it as a thought, and it's a fleeting thought, and there's no charge to it, and you go, oh, well, they're clearly not an expert, and then you just get on with doing your good thing, that's an awareness. That's just, oh, they're not actually a judgment, and, peace be upon them. You'll know it's a judgment when you see someone and you go, I can't believe it. I can't believe that they would say that they're an expert. They're not an expert. Meh. And you get crumpled about it. That's when it's a judgment. And that, my friend, that's what's holding you back from getting that content out there. And again, content could be the content you're posting, or it could be an offer that you want to make. So an easy way to identify this is, who are you judging? And what are you judging them for? And then just flip it around. That's probably the worst thing someone could say about you. Now, I share a very specific story in that video that I mentioned that's up in the private group that I run. So it's Procrastination to Profits, and you're welcome to request to join, comment below, and I can send you the link. That's only going to be up for 48 hours, and then I'll decide later if I want to charge for it, because it really is that good. And I share a very specific example and make this really concrete, really specific, and I offer some very specific beliefs that you can clear to give you some freedom with this. But let's see what's in the energy right now, since you're on the live, and we'll see what comes up in this current moment. So just give me a moment to tap into the energy around judgments and receiving judgments, and we'll see what we can clear. And if you have any questions or comments, please type below, and I can address those here in the moment if anyone's courageous enough or feeling in the flow enough to jump up and ask a question live. Whew, okay, so all the ways you're using judgment of others to stay safe. Would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? All the ways you are doing judgment yourself because you were taught that that's the way to operate in business. Would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? The belief that judgment is what business people do. Would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? Ooh, here's a good one. The story that judging others is a great way to demonstrate your expertise. Ow! Whoa, that's got some heat on it. Would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? And again, some of your great content could be critiques of others in your industry. And that could be very valuable. I write that kind of content as well. But I'm very careful and I check in on the energy of, am I writing this with a force and with a vengeance? Or did I have an awareness? Am I just noticing and then creating some great content from it? My level of intensity will tell me my level of judgment. Another video, we could get into the nuances around intensity about your mission and vision, or intensity around judgment. That's a whole different conversation. But for now, the broad level is your intensity is your level of judgment. Okay. So if you'd like that really specific free training, it's in my free group, which is called Procrastination of Profits. So just comment below and let me know, and you can jump in there. Like I say, it's only up for 48 hours. So I encourage you to come and view that before I decide what next to do with it, if I want to charge for it, if I am going to keep it up for free. I literally haven't decided yet, but it's very, very powerful. So that's the first call to action for you. Second call to action is I'm going to be reviving an old favorite, which is the free session that I used to offer. Now it's going to have a whole new name. It's going to be much shorter. It's going to be for a specific period of time. I think I'm going to do just one day, a blitz day, where I'm going to see how many of these 15-minute belief clearing sessions I can do. And it's all going to be around visibility. So if you'd like to be the first to know about those, to get one for yourself, comment below and say, 15-minute free session, I'm in, and I'll make sure that I tell you first. I haven't decided on the name yet. It's going to be something like Visibility Breakthrough or Put Yourself Out There Breakthrough, Belief Clearing Session, something like that. I haven't decided yet. But if you'd like to be the first to know, if you hear that and you say, oh my God, heck yes, I want that, then comment below. Okay, have an amazing day. I hope this has been valuable. Let me know in the comments below your biggest takeaways, your biggest ahas, what you realized from this. And of course, like, share, all that great social media stuff so that more people can get this gold mine content that I wasn't sitting on because I just decided on the topic and went for it. Have an amazing day. Enjoy your winter tundra wherever you are. And I'll see you next Thursday around 3 p.m. Eastern. I know today's a bit late, but around 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.